What did you learn in modeling school, Melina, today? Young Melina. I'm not young anymore, Father. I'm 42. Well, anyway, what did you learn, girl? What did you learn? Well, if you must know, I learned how to walk, darling. I walked like this. And then I walked like this, darling. Okay, you walked like that. Okay, how does that get you to be a model, darling? Then I walked like this, darling. Then I walked like this. How did that get you to be a model, girl? Then I walked like this, darling. Then I walked like this. All right, girl, you learned how to walk, did you not, girl? Is that what your point is? Yes, Dad, that's what I learned. All right, bye, girl. Now go model. You gotta get your career going, darling. All right, bye, girl. Obviously, that's a simulation. My dad had passed away. I just pretended that she had a father, and she's Melina, the character Melina. Obviously, when I talk about my dad, Marco's dad, who was incredible and great, I do not consider him to be Melina's dad. I don't consider Melina a person. I know people really admire Melina and think she's brave and really courageous and really a good role model for the trans community and all that. But I don't think my dad was so easygoing. I don't think he would have really judged me for it or anything. He never said anything about Melina. He might not have liked it, but I don't think he was so easygoing. I'm sure he had, when he was alive, he probably had trans friends. I'm not sure. I don't know, but I don't. I mean, he had friends with all different situations before, like gay, bi, straight, married, separated, divorced, single. He had all kinds of friends. So for him, it wasn't a big deal. I'm sure he wouldn't have cared. He didn't say anything. He was never mad at me ever. He loved me so much. Anyway, he probably knew people that were, and he obviously he watched television. He did see a lot of trans people. So anyway, when I say Marco's dad, I mean Marco's dad. I don't mean Melina's dad. Now, my dad probably would have been like totally not worried about me saying Marco's or my dad as Melina. I'm sure he wouldn't have cared. He would have been easygoing about it. Even if I wanted to be trans, my family would have been so accepting. So would have my dad would have been accepting. But I don't care to be trans. But I'm more than happy to be a good role model for the trans community, being in as a performer doing this. Now, guys, when I say all these things, do not take it the wrong way. Do not think that I'm being like ashamed of being dressed as a girl or anything like that. That's not a concern for me. If I really wanted to be a trans person, I would have no problems with it. I'd go out as Melina. I would totally be out as Melina. I would be dating as Melina. I have no problems with it at all. So remember, guys, like I say all these things to advocate for the trans community and for the sexual orientations out there and the religions and the races. And of course, you're thinking, well, if you don't go out as Melina, how are you going to advocate for the trans community? Well, it's because even though I don't go out as Melina, the only reason I don't go out as Melina is because I don't identify as being trans. Like, and people might be like, well, why do you do it so much? How do you not identify as being trans? Like, why would you even dress up as a woman then? Well, I think my performances are so good as Melina that I look really good as Melina, but I don't want to live as Melina. I don't want to live as a woman. I'm more than happy being all guy as Marco and being like a king, prince, GQ boss, that to me is makes me happy. So if I wanted to go, if I was really trans all the time, wanted to date as trans, wanted to go out as trans, wanted to be a trans person, I would have no problem doing that. I just don't identify with that at all. That's the only reason why you don't see Melina on the street or you don't see Melina getting any changes in her appearance because I don't identify with it. I don't feel like I'm Melina. I mean, obviously, I do have a lot of a kinship with Melina, but it's only as an entertainment. It's only because I feel like I'm a great, like it's like RuPaul. Like RuPaul is an entertainer. RuPaul is not. RuPaul, the actual guy, um, only does RuPaul for entertainment. You're thinking, doesn't he identify as that? Doesn't he date as that? I think he only dates as the man he is, and I think it's just his persona one of his personas when he performs. That's all it is. So, even though we all think he looks great as RuPaul, he's really pretty, why would he not want to identify as RuPaul? But he really doesn't want to. He just does it for the money. And why wouldn't you if you know the money's going to be great and you know you're going to be good at something? Then you would, of course, perform like that, right? Like, why wouldn't you? So that's what I do. I perform as Melina because I know Melina is really great and I know she's awesome. And like advocating for the trans community, it's important because if I was trans, I would totally go out as trans. I have no problem with that. I mean, obviously, I know it's probably very hard, but I mean, if I really identified as being trans, then I would have no problem being into it, even if it meant that I had to, well, I mean, obviously, you don't want to date discreetly. You want to just be happy being trans. So I would totally have no problem with being trans. That's why I do feel like I'm advocating for the trans community, because I really feel like I am comfortable with being trans and I really wanted to be. I just don't identify with it at all, darling. All right, bye now.